This is Amanda from Global Genes. We're going to go ahead and get started with our World Rare Disease Day 2016 Planning webinar. First, I want to go over a couple housekeeping things with you all. Right now, you are muted. If you do want to ask a question, we will have a Q&A at the end of the webinar presentation. Go ahead and utilize the Q&A section at the bottom right-hand side of your screen, as you see up there. You'll go ahead and it'll be sent to me, and I will go ahead and moderate it for the different panelists that you'll hear from today. If you have any technical difficulties throughout the webinar, please go ahead and email me at amandak@globalgenes.org. Today we're going to be talking about a couple key things for the 2016 World Rare Disease Day planning. This will include tips and tricks of how to make your World Rare Disease Day and events and awareness that really impactful. This will happen through local events, what's happening across the country, and then you'll hear from marketing and communications about how to tell your story and really make that awareness impactful. So like I said, here are a couple of our panelists that you'll be hearing from. We're going to start off with Kim, then we'll go to Carrie, then you'll hear from Jamie, and then you'll hear from Amy. So what I'll do, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Kim Kilbourne with Global Genes. She's the Vice President of Patient Advocacy. And give me one second, Kim, I'm unmuting you now. Or go ahead.
So much, Amanda, and thanks to all of you who have joined us today for this webinar. I know that we're all really excited and looking forward to World Rare Disease Day, which is just a little bit less than 3 months away. I'm so pleased that you were able to take time out of your schedule today. If you could advance to the next slide. So before we dive right into the substance of our program today, we thought we would take a few moments to talk a little bit about Global Genes. Because in the last 6 months, we have added, or we have had 60 additional rare disease foundations and support groups join our Foundation Alliance partnership, which is really, really tremendous. And with that comes new patients representing new disease groups that may not have been working with Global Genes in the past. So we thought we'd take a couple minutes just to talk a little bit about who we are to lead into the discussion today. We are a leading rare disease patient advocacy organization, and our mission is to eliminate the challenges of rare disease. So mission, and if you advance to the next slide, I'll talk a little bit about how we do that or what we do. So we educate and we build awareness for rare diseases across the country, and we do this by building and developing tools and resources, identifying gaps in knowledge across the entire rare disease community where we can provide information and support to help patients become their own advocates and really activists for the rare disease community. Also, we work to build a global connected network. We know that rare disease knows no borders across the world, and our challenges are great, and our resources are not where we want them to be. So we know that we can capitalize and grow and build awareness toward leading research and treatment and cures by building that connected global network. Also invest in and foster in new technologies that, again, have a great impact across rare disease, across the board, and build partnerships that can help us do that. What you see here on the screen is an infographic that we developed last year that really highlights some of the key facts associated with rare disease. And this is a theme that you'll hear, I think, a little bit throughout this program as well. And one of the reasons why we are all working so hard to raise awareness for the challenges of rare disease, the activities that we engage in throughout the year, and that, of course, culminate in the celebration of World Rare Disease Day. So there are 7,000 identified rare diseases across all rare diseases, huge numbers of people who are affected. And you'll see here that there's a statistic that 30 million Americans are affected with one or more of these rare diseases. That's 1 in 10 Americans. So it is a huge population when you take all patients who are facing one of those 7,000 rare diseases and put them collectively together. And we know that 95% of those rare diseases have no treatment or no effective treatment option available to them. So it's considered rare. Here in the United States, a disease with a prevalence of less than 200,000 people is considered rare. We know this does vary a little bit globally, but here in the U.S., it is a disease that affects less than 200,000 people. And another key statistic that you'll see on this infographic is that a key reason why we all need to continue to strive and we work so hard to raise awareness for rare disease is that it's still taking 8 years on average towards a diagnosis. So from onset of symptoms to multiple specialists, as you see that patients encounter along their journey, still such a long time to reach a diagnosis, and we're working really hard with all of the rare disease foundations that we're partnering with to slow and shorten that gap. I also know that within rare disease, about half of them have no organized advocacy organization or support group or foundation that is also working on behalf of their disease. And again, this is where, as Global Genes, as we work with our foundation partners and in our network and on our tools and resources that we develop, help to support and serve the needs of those patient communities. So just take a moment here to highlight a couple of our resources that we have available for patients and for patient organizations. So our Rare Toolkit, this is probably one of our popular resources that we have. All of the content for our toolkits is available on our website and also is available for download in a designed PDF format. And they really do cover a range of topics. And I know some of my colleagues are going to talk about a few specific titles this afternoon, but we have more than 15 online right now, and we're in development for another 8 to 10 toolkits on various topics. And we really are responding to the needs of the patient community on, where they see a greater need for education. So we're tackling topics such as understanding registries, to have a better understanding of genetic testing, to the journey of drug development, whether that's on the clinical research side or just an overview across the entire drug development spectrum, to topics such as how to grow or enhance your nonprofit organization or start your nonprofit organization, or really even just understanding emotional challenges that teenagers with rare disease face. So it really does cover a breadth of topics, and these resources are for the community to use, again, at national meetings, at support group meetings, and they're available to read online or to order from our website for free. Also, we provide a series of rare webinars like this one every year. We do about 6 a year aligned with different topics. This year we did one on starting a center of excellence, how to optimize your potential in school for a child with a rare disease, and a session that really talked about bringing patients a greater understanding of informed consent and what that really means. And I encourage all of you to take a look at the rare webinars that we have available. And again, we'll be doing 6 in the coming year for 2016. And all are recorded and archived. So if you can't make it at the time, you can always go back to our website and take 2 minutes to download that. And it's convenient for you. So our blog, this is also part of our Rare Daily. We encourage you to submit stories that talk about your rare disease, your journey, that highlight key pieces of research or information that is specific to your rare disease, but also would be of interest, across the rare disease space. So we really consider this a great opportunity for you to share and write about your specific rare disease community as well. Yeah, I'll just touch a little on our Rare Patient Advocacy Summit. This is really our signature event that we host every year. We're going into our 5th year in 2016, every September. So this coming year, it will be September 22nd and 23rd in Southern California. And this is really such a great opportunity for patients and advocates and government and researchers and physicians and industry to come together and really participate in a 2-day summit that covers multiple topics from organizational development to support and storytelling needs and understanding your journey to many topics related to research or drug development, again, starting registries, topics that we hear from the community that are the most relevant for the issues that you're facing and that you're tackling. So I encourage you all to take a look at some of the sessions that we had at the 2015 summit. You can see those on our website. All the sessions are recorded. You know, browse through them and see what might be of interest to you. And we've also started just with this past summit to create some key session briefs from some of those summit sessions that, you know, that kind of a downloadable PDF takeaway that would highlight some of the key outcomes and portion of the discussion from those summit sessions as well. So thanks for giving me a little bit of time to talk about Global Genes and some of the resources that we have available to help support all of you and any organizations that you're affiliated with. And with that, I'll turn it over to my colleague, Carrie, who is going to talk a little bit more about the origins of Rare Disease Day and event planning. She's not only our manager of patient advocacy, but also a patient advocate.
My name is Carrie Austria. I am a member of the Global Genes Advocacy team and have been for a few years now. But as Kim shared, I'm also a rare mom. My youngest child, Hannah, was diagnosed with an ultra-rare genetic disorder at the age of 5 months. And this year, 2016, marks my 6th year of planning Rare Disease Day events in my hometown. And I'm looking forward to sharing some ideas with you to help you create your own events. So let's get started. You know, many of us work tirelessly to try and get our family's rare story out there, you know, in print media, on television, in our local community. And why do we do this? That awareness is one of the first key steps in creating hope. When changes, then the disease could take the life of someone we love or continue to cause chronic and painful conditions to continue. But we have maybe so few people that share our condition, they have to be the one who has to take those first steps. If no one knows about your disease, your story, then knows that you need help. And this is the first step towards funding, towards research, towards a treatment, and our ultimate goal, towards hope. Rare Disease Day is the perfect time to share your story. World Rare Disease Day is held on the last day of February of each year. 2018 is actually an extra special year because it is held on February 29th, which is the rarest day of the year. Next slide, please. Rare Disease Day is such an exciting time for our rare disease community. One day of each year that we designate that we have a chance to work together, regardless of our diagnosis or our disease family, and promote the importance and intense need for treatments, legislation, research, and funding for the rare diseases to the general public and industry and media. People don't really get a lot of insight into the world that we live in. And the day that we build upon each of our individual stories for the greater benefit of our entire rare disease community. Because it's the patient, about us, our rare community. Because time and time again that advances in one specific disease really have benefits in other similar rare diseases. Now, Rare Disease Day, an initiative launched by Eurotas in 2008, and it really has grown tremendously each year. There are thousands of events, large and small. We're held in over 84 countries, and that's pretty massive. And it's definitely something that we're going to build upon this year. Next slide. And how do we do that? Well, Genes, we promote hope with our Blue Denim Jeans Ribbon campaign. Genes and Hope. Why was the denim ribbon chosen to represent our community? Think about it. Even if denim jeans are the same brand or the same style, there are no two exact pair of jeans, which perfectly represents our community. Because so many unique types of denim jeans, there's so many unique and genetic and rare disorders, it really has become the unifying symbol of hope for our community and showcases the power of our rare community's collective voice. Because I shared earlier, 30 million Americans diagnosed with a rare disease. That is a powerful voice that we have collectively if we work together. The ribbon has been adopted by thousands of people since our program began in 2011. Last year, we sent out over 200,000 jeans ribbons to many countries. We sent over 1,100 events. One of them might have been yours. You also know that thousands of more ribbons were handmade by people all over the world for events. Time for you to start thinking about what type of event you want to put together. At a school or university, if your sports team or your crafts club wants to do something special. Your office, or maybe organize something at the store you work at. Or maybe you want to get a group of people together and take advantage of the growing popularity of Rare Disease Day and talk to your legislative representatives about policy changes you feel are important to the community. Next slide. Here, you're coming up with ideas for your event. On a specific patient or rare disease, or use your rare story to really help people understand the needs of the general rare disease community better. Personal stories are really powerful, and that's what stays in people's hearts, especially those not personally affected by rare diseases. With Americans affected by rare diseases, there's an opportunity to reach so many people who may be diagnosed with a rare condition, but really realize that they're part of a bigger, more powerful community. By your story or your family story, the impact of our larger rare community, you may be creating hope in people who didn't know there was support out there for them. Next slide. Now, if it is a fundraiser, you have to have some considerations. Like, for example, where does the money go? If you use money for a patient's family, any donations you receive will not be tax deductible to the donor. For them to receive the tax exemption, the donation you donate to must be a 501c3 nonprofit charity. And if you're about the organization's status you wish to support, you can check guidestar.org or Charity Navigator to confirm that the status that they have. We have Jane's toolkits available to help you with your fundraising ideas. We really strongly encourage you to check out our 5 essential tools for fundraising toolkit. It will really take your fundraising opportunity to the next level and give you answers to questions that are probably starting to percolate in your head right now. Things to consider are logistics and publicity. Hosting an event at a specific location, you really need to verify whether or not you'll be required to get a permit or permission to hold the event. If you decide to do something at your local mall, you will talk to their corporate office to see what requirements they have for something like this. And this is probably one of the most important things when planning an event. Do not be afraid to ask people for help. Most are really receptive to unique and special ideas and the chance to help others in their community. And you may be pleasantly surprised at how much help you can get if you really just ask for it. Reminder, as Amanda said earlier, if you have questions you would like myself or any of our panelists to answer, please just send them in the Q&A box below, and we'll be answering them at the end of this webinar. Please. Oh, perfect. So now you don't know what you want to do, you but have some ideas. So I'm going to have some ideas with you. Getting schools involved in Rare Disease Day is such a fantastic way to give an age-appropriate education of genetics and rare diseases. Depending on the grade level you are considering, it can be as simple as a Rare Disease Day elementary school program, which not only discusses the very basics of genetics, but also provides a great opportunity to teach about acceptance and disabilities and reach out to children who have physical or developmental differences. You can have a fundraising opportunity by asking staff members $5 to wear jeans on that day, or perhaps $20 to wear jeans all week long, because what teacher doesn't like to wear jeans to school? Really especially successful in schools that have a uniform dress code. And kids involved with Rare Disease Day is our Denim Designs art activity. On the jeans website, we have an outline of a jeans ribbon on a coloring sheet that you can download. Encourage the students to come up with creative ways to decorate the jeans. Make them look unique and rare while incorporating the denim blue color. You could go a step further to make it a contest and offer a prize for each of the grade levels. It's a yearbook page as well. You could showcase your school's commitment to the community. Next slide. For the office teams or community groups, we also have some ideas such as, You know, you put together a denim scavenger hunt on a campus or at your work. Take a variety of different denim jeans, ribbons, and patches, and hide them in your area. You know, you can provide clues to the next location while at the same time sharing rare disease facts to educate the students. For example, one clue would be, did you know 30 million Americans are affected by rare diseases? Your next clue can be found at XYZ. Kind of create your own amazing race for Rare Disease Day. You can join our Wear That You Care campaign for a Rare Disease Day. This is a fun and easy to participate program that asks people to wear that they care about rare diseases. It is cool is sharing what makes you rare, to wearing denim jeans, to wearing anything that really promotes hope. From our organization, we'll be sharing some really cool new apparel that we've just designed to help you wear that you care about rare later in today's program as well. Event you want to put together, or however you may want to get you and your family and your coworkers and your community involved, please be sure and take and share pictures. This is really the best way to spread awareness. Next slide, please. Any other activities you consider, and we've just a handful of them together to give you some more ideas. You know, on these briefly, but if you have any questions or want to know how to develop them further, please reach out to myself or any members of our advocacy team. In jeans and the same T-shirt with the Global Jeans ribbon, and taking a group photo to share on your social media page has become a hugely popular opportunity. We see this every year, and we love seeing this. You can also host a Care About Rare party and have all the food, drinks, and decorations be blue. A Learn will give you an opportunity to share your rare story with the group, which is great for business offices. It's extremely powerful, as our rare stories and personal experiences really impact the hearts of those who hear them, and really encourage them to possibly take the next step in getting involved. Rare Jeans Project is really a fun project, where you get to decorate a pair of jeans in a unique way. You can do this on your own, or ask your friends and family, or even your children to each decorate a pair of jeans. And we have found some incredible rare jeans designs on Pinterest, so be sure to check them out to get some ideas as well. And as I mentioned earlier, our team at Global Jeans loves photos. We love seeing our community in action. It is so inspiring to see so many people coming together to say, I care about rare. To take photos of what you end up doing and post them on our Facebook page and social media so we can share them with the rest of our community. Ideas such as partnering with a local retail establishment to create awareness of a fundraising opportunity. Last year we saw Supercuts, a number of fitness centers, as well as a large number of restaurants with that local advocates to promote Rare Disease Day is either just an awareness opportunity or a fundraising. Last year, our Global Jeans team worked with a number of teaching hospitals and advocates to put a grand rounds program to educate the local medical community on rare diseases. Many times, the local medical community does have a lot of ability to rare patients, and by being able to bring the medical specialists together in a local hospital in an education environment, we've been able to kind of bridge that little gap of getting them more aware of things to look at in the rare stories that we have. States are also starting to organize statewide legislative efforts to spread awareness to state representatives, including Utah, California, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and getting more involved in the legislative aspects of rare disease advocacy. You can download our two Global Jeans toolkits called Grassroots Advocacy and Advocacy on Capitol Hill. You can find them on our website at globaljeans.org/toolkits. It will be a great primer for you to get a better understanding of what is involved in the legislative process for our rare disease community. Now, what I've done here in my hometown in Las Vegas. Our first event we're coming up on our 6th year, is our Little Miss Hannah's Jeans for Jeans Day. Our found a rare disease organization here in Las Vegas called the Little Miss Hannah Foundation, which focuses on children diagnosed with rare disorders. Every year at 3 Las Vegas elementary schools, and each of the schools designates the last hour of the World Rare Disease Day event and splits it up to an age-appropriate education on genetics, disability, and compassion. Because we do know that many kids who are diagnosed with rare diseases that can cause physical or developmental disabilities do have difficulties kind of assimilating into the general population in a school. And this has been a really wonderful program to kind of teach us about differences in compassion. And the 30 minutes of the program is having these kids design cards of hope. The children 2 denim ribbons, one which you can see on the screen, and the other one that they attach to a card. And these cards have been given out to thousands of families across Nevada, showing that there are children that are thinking about them, care about them, and wishing them well. Next slide. Is that we've done over the past few years. I like trying to come up with things that are unique and different. For example, last year we worked with a very popular afternoon show performer on Las Vegas Strip, Jeff Savelico, who created a Rare Disease Day show. He encouraged all the attendees. He and his staff all wore blue denim ribbons. His daughter Abigail on stage with him. He spent a few minutes during the show actually talking about Rare Disease Day. He's become very close to our childhood rare disease community here in Las Vegas. A couple of years ago, we worked with the Las Vegas Metro Police Department on their Cops for Kids Day, and we promoted World Rare Disease Day, and we had a special event with that where we had people from the community come and create letters of hope, which is something that we love to do, on our 6-foot denim ribbon that was created for us by one of our nonprofit collaborators. And it was awesome seeing McGruff the crime dog wearing a blue jeans denim ribbon. So sharing these ideas with you, I really hope that it kind of gives you a sense that you can think outside the box. And what event you come up with, it doesn't have to be a big event. It can be whatever size, because whatever event you do, you reach one person, that's going to make a difference. If you can go to the next slide, please. We definitely want to help you spread the word about your event. Whether it's a public event or a private event, we post all the events that are taking place all over the country. We're going to list of events. We'll launch it on February 1st. So if you have an event already, please go ahead and submit it, because we'll be able to help share with the community what is going on. A public event, we want to encourage people to be able to attend and to join you in your local area. An event such as something that's happening at a school or a church, we include that attendance information. But sharing this information and allowing us the opportunity to post it on our website, you're giving other people ideas as to what they can do as well. So, slide, please. Now, to go more into the legislative effort, we have, for those of you that have been to Washington, D.C., Legislative Associates puts on a week-long program along with the NIH to really focus on rare disease awareness and policies that are really important to our community. This year, Monday, February 29th, the actual Rare Disease Day, the NIH is going to be hosting their Rare Disease Day. It's a lot of education, a lot of insight into the workings of these institutes. Now, if you're going to be in D.C. for that week, I strongly recommend that you attend it. Next slide. One of our partners during Rare Disease Week is going to be hosting, as I mentioned, a week-long program. This is a really great opportunity if you've never done any legislative work or advocacy work on Capitol Hill to be able to come out and get an education. It starts off with a rare disease screening of a documentary. I'm not sure what the documentary is this year, but last year we've had documentaries about progeria, new ticket, just some really powerful documentaries to kick off the week. It is followed by legislative training, their legislative conference. It really gives you an insight into how to legislate, how to work with your, how to talk to your local Congress people, your senators, working with staff, what is important in the issues, making use of your time. And then when the Capitol Hill on Wednesday, really prepared as to what you need to talk about and how to utilize your 15 minutes with your congressman or congressional staff or Senate staff. And we're going to be having a rare art reception at the Kilbourne House building, which last year was just an amazing thing to see all these rare artists come together and share their pieces of work. So next, please. So in joining and storming Capitol Hill was about 200 rare disease advocates. Registration is required to attend. LA does have scholarships available. I believe it ends December 31st. So if you want to be able to consider attending and you need a little bit of financial support, please go to their website as soon as possible for a travel site. At Capitol Hill, but you still want your story in the hands of your legislators, we'll be collecting your stories to hand deliver to members of Congress. It is something that we did last year. Representing Nevada, my husband and I delivered a number of stories, rare stories from people in Nevada to senators, and I really think it makes another impact when you have all these families coming together to share their stories, share their need for legislative change. Next slide. Some fantastic events that are coming up across the U.S. and we're still, as I mentioned earlier, so please share your slides, your events with us because we do want to be able to get them out there. Kennedy is turning blue for Rare Disease Day. This is going to be an exciting event, one of a kind that I've never seen before. Collaborating with so many different medical organizations, genetics, industry, advocates. So if you are in the Kansas City area, we will be getting more information out there. There's also the Sanford Burnham in La Jolla is going to be holding a multi-day conference, South Dakota, as well as USC's Keck School of Medicine are going to be having events as well. So next, I'm excited to hand it over to my colleague Jamie Rodems, who is working at marketing department, who'll be able to really give you some more insight and tools into sharing your story and planning your event. Jamie?
Well, today I'm going to cover sharing your story. Why is sharing your story so important? It's important because it is the best way to share your personal advocacy. It puts face to your rare cause and adds realism to your listener, which helps them to connect personally to your story. Make it great. 1, get to the point. When you have someone's attention, be sure to use their time to get your top 5 messages out, like what happens to people with your rare cause? Do you have any treatments? How long did it take for you to get diagnosed? How many people in the world have your rare cause? What do you have to do on a daily basis to live with your rare cause? The best thing to do is to put some heart in your story. Do this by sharing your personal experience. Which is point number 3, connect with people. Adding emotion to your story helps the listener to connect to you on a personal level. And finally, attention. You can do this by putting into context the rare disease community as a whole that we'll go into on the next slide. Your story is as impactful as possible. You can do this by adding stats and facts about the rare community as a whole, like the stat that over 350 million people worldwide are affected by rare disease. That stat is startling and usually has people take a step back and listen. Your community stats adds credibility to your story and makes your story more impactful because the community stats are more likely to hit home than your individual stats alone. Best platforms for you to share your story. On social media, the best platforms are Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and we have some resources in our Rare Toolkits to help you with your storytelling, as well as social media toolkits that are coming out in January. So what hashtag? Hashtag is a digital filing system. For example, hashtag Global Genes on Instagram, when you click on it, should pull up all context relating to Global Genes. Use hashtags because people browse them, like you would in the library looking for content that you want to pull from. It will allow new people to end up falling onto your profiles, learning more about what you do. For example, at Global Genes, we tend to use the hashtags rare, rare disease, medical, advocate, and SoCal. These hashtags pull people from the rare disease community, medical community, and our local Southern California community. To bring attention to your cause on social media is by creating a Care About Rare profile picture. These profile pictures allow your friends to see you advocating for rare and hopefully prompts them to want to learn more. Pictures end up being quite a movement during January through March because you will end up seeing hundreds of people in your news feed rocking these Care About Rare profile pictures. The new names for World Rare Disease Day 2016 will be added to the World Rare Disease Day page in January. To advocate for your cause is by hosting an event on Facebook. You create an event going to your news feed, and on your right-hand side, there should be an events option. Click that and then click Create. Once event details pop up, it's important to cover a few things. First, make sure you upload a compelling cover image. That the event is public and that you allow others to invite their friends to your event. Share your story that you've already put together in the previous slides in the description below. To get your story out besides social media is traditional PR. This would be TV, radio, and print. Pitch to traditional channels is similar to the format you have already put together in the story slides before. However, be sure to put the most compelling and factual parts of your story in a summary before your actual story. A lot of times, news outlets and radios do not have enough time to read your whole entire story, so it's very important that you highlight, bold, or pull out into a pre-summary the most important parts that are newsworthy. When you share your content, frame yourself as the local expert, like you're the only person for them to reach out to for more information. That will help you be able to frame your story along with the next part, share stats of the rare disease community, because as mentioned before, it makes your story more compelling and we have some resources on our World Rare Disease Day page to help you prep stories to deliver to the traditional outlets. We have an infographic and stats and facts page for you to pull information from. We have how to put together a press release and also have a fill-in-the-blank press release. A lot more helpful content will be added to this page in January. That was a lot to go over, and please feel free to ask questions at the end. But the things that are very important is to make sure to tell your story. You can do this on social media by hashtags and the Care About Rare profile pictures. An outlet would be to use local news outlets and the radio, using resources on our World Rare Disease Day page. That should be fairly easy for you to put together for your next step. Let us know on social media if there's any resources that you were looking for that we haven't produced yet. We will do our best to put those together for you. So now I'd like to introduce you to my coworker, Amy. I'm Director of Operations. She's going to go over our new Shop Rare House.
Hello, everyone. Last but not least, I get to talk about my favorite thing, and that is the Global Genes store. We are so excited to relaunch the store. For some of you that have been following Global Genes for a while, we did have a store up and running, and it took down for a little bit, and now it's back up, and we're just so excited about it. Our new store is now called Rare House, and we opened it up on December 1st with apparel, fans, stickers, hats, and much more. Our name, Rare House, R-A-R-E, is of course play on warehouse, W-A-R-E. It's our vision to build the store to be a one-stop shop for those inside and outside the rare community to purchase items that not only raise awareness, but also inspire. And just to inspire you, but also inspire the general public to get involved, become aware, and join the movement. So now let's take you over to a live shot of the store. Just going to pull it up in a second now. So this is the front of the Global Genes site. And all you have to do is go down to the store and click Store. And it'll be a second. Shop Now is the warehouse. We have all kinds of products in the warehouse, and we truly do pull your input for these products. And so we watch our Facebook page. So, for example, if you scroll back up to the mug, used on the mug is one of our most popular quotes that we put on Facebook that you enjoy. So we took that and we put it on the mug. And down we have all kinds of T-shirts. Our most popular T-shirt you voted for. Hope it's in My Genes quote. And just to give you a little insight to Genes, we do have some bets going on when we put these up on Facebook to which one's going to win. So make sure you vote if you see that on Facebook. Also, if you go over to one of my favorite items, it's the Gene's Ribbon Charm Necklace that Amanda can click on. Hold on just a second. And the Gene necklace, this ribbon necklace, was actually inspired by Megan Ortega. She has Cowden syndrome. And she came to us a while back with this idea to make this charm necklace. And we are excited to make reality for her. We have this charm necklace on the site that you can purchase, and it's a great way to wear that you care every day. And you can have the ribbon on every day. You can talk to people about the ribbon if they ask about it. So we're excited to be able to put that on the site for Megan. And don't forget, check back to Facebook because we're going to be putting new products throughout 2016, and we're going to get your input. So when our, Facebook team, Jamie, put something up online, ask questions, ask for your opinion, please, give us your opinion because we want to know what you want to see on the store in the coming months. So don't forget to hashtag Rare House. I'm an old lady, but I do know how to hashtag. And so when you get your gear, take a picture and use hashtag Rare House. You can always email me with questions if you have any questions about the store. I'm amyg@globaljeans.org. So enjoy, and I hope that you have some happy shopping. And so get excited about the store because we're excited too. So as Carrie discussed, we're going to talk about the jeans ribbon. Using the jeans ribbon for World Rare Disease Day and building awareness is really essential to your event. We've been sending out ribbons for several years now, and it's been building. We literally send them all over the world, and it's a labor of love for us. We package them up ourselves, and we send them out. We send them out for free, but we do ask for a small donation to keep the program running. It's really easy to order the ribbons. If you just, you'll see the box down there. You can click on Order Now. And really simple form. We just want to know what event you're planning, how many people you might reach out to, how many ribbons that you need, so we can kind of keep track of what events are going on out there. It'll just take you a few minutes to fill out. Push submit, and we'll get those ribbons out to you. It was posted. We're going to follow back up with you. Here's a picture of the ribbon. On the front side, that's the left. It's the Wear That You Care. And there's the actual ribbon that you take off once you have the card and you put on, with stats and facts on the back that are really important to raising awareness. And you can see that we have all of our graphics and things like that to educate those when you hand out those ribbons at your event. No, it's too small. You can order from 20 ribbons to 500 ribbons. So, please get online, fill out the form, and order your ribbons, and we'll get those out to you just as soon as we can. Promote it. Definitely promote. Take pictures because we like to share what everyone is doing out there. So order your ribbons soon, and happy World Rare Disease Day. And Amanda.
Thank you. So I want to just turn it over now to the full panelist group to go ahead and if you have any questions, feel free to utilize the Q&A section. As a reminder, where to find the Q&A section, it's at the lower right-hand part of your screen. We did have one that came in. Carrie, do you have access to it? Otherwise, I can read it out loud.
I do. Jessica, for fundraising, we present worst-case scenario. To pull at heart and wallet strings, we share shortened lifespans, hardships, and negative impact. Candid patients via becoming adoptive parents, getting jobs. I've experienced thoughts. I have thoughts. As I mentioned early in the presentation, my daughter was diagnosed with an ultra-rare life-limiting disorder, so I'm very well aware of the challenges that you face. And it really is a balance of sharing the realities versus not scaring people. Instead of focusing so much on the hardships and the negativity, on how people that you're reaching out to support you can help enhance the quality of life of these kids or these families. You can't be so negative as to scare people away. You really have to kind of find that sweet spot, whatever it is in your community. And if you would like, or you or anybody else would like to talk about this concept a little bit more, feel free to email me at carrie@globaljeans.org, and I would look this offline and discuss it a little bit further to support you on that.
Next question was related to the Rare Disease Legislative Advocates, or RDLA's, travel stipend request, how to share the patient story. So I'm going to turn that one actually over to Kim Kilbourne. Just one second, I just realized you're on mute.
Amanda. So happy to field that question for the events that are going to be going on in DC during that week that are hosted by LA. The travel stipend, and just make note of the date again, it's December 31st to submit your request for a travel stipend to participate. And I know that RDLA has shared that they're hoping to get patient advocates from all 50 states as well as Puerto Rico to participate. So they're real for that strong turnout, and it's certainly a great event. And for those of you who can't make it, though, we did that on February 15th. If you could submit your patient story, and that way they, the team and other advocates that are there can make sure it gets into your member of Congress or your senator's hands. And I think all the information is available at the website rareadvocates.org. So check that out. You can learn a little bit more about the events and apply for those scholarships and also for submitting your story.
Our next question comes back to the hashtags. So Jamie, could you go over again the hashtags that we use for the rare disease community at large, and then also our ones for specifically for World Rare Disease Day?
Okay. So we found that the hashtags with our company anyways that work the best are rare, because our programs all start with rare in front of them, as well as rare disease, medical, patient, parent advocates, and activists. We get a lot of new ads using those because a lot of advocates, for example, will be searching and then they'll stumble upon our content and start following us. For World Rare Disease Day, the hashtag is WRDD2016, as well as Care About Rare is used a lot. I think right now there's, on Instagram alone, there's I think around 3,000 photos in it. So that's a good one to use if you want people to stumble on yours.
There's related to RDLA events and having every state legislature, if they're also going to be for each of the states. Kim, do you want to share a little bit more about how they interact, each individual advocate interacts with their state congressmen and state legislators? Federal.
So it would be this program in Washington, D.C. really works to connect advocates with their U.S. congressperson or their U.S. senator throughout those events on the legislative day. That RDLA works with a group to help schedule those meetings based on those who have registered to attend the event. So there is some assistance there with scheduling meetings so that you're meeting, with your with your member, and of course, a senator that represents your state. Or you're meeting with your federal representation. I hope that is. Please let me know.
I'd like to add a little bit, if that's okay.
Oh, Carrie, yes.
Yes, I've attended the last 3 years with RDLA. I think there's RDLA also has in-person legislative support at a certain, I believe, week of each year, which is a separate program. I want to reach out to RDLA to discuss that if you're looking for your state legislator, but it's not really associated with the World Rare Disease Day program and the travel scholarship support for these events.
Another question was related to the slide deck. So we are recording the webinar as a reminder to everyone. It will be posted in the same place that you registered on our website, globalgenes.org, and then you'll find the webinar links. That'll be along with a downloadable slide deck and the recorded webinar for viewing in the future. Okay, we had a question come in. if we don't have our own 501c3 yet, but want to have donations go to Global Genes, how would we set that up on our site? And if we do a Facebook Drive on World Rare Disease Day? We'll turn it over to maybe Carrie on that one.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for considering us as your fundraising opportunity. That really means a lot to all of us in our organization because, you know, this is our heart is. But I'm actually going to pass this off to Amy because she has worked with a number of advocates with me over the past few years on funding efforts. Amy, would you mind taking over this one?
Yep, absolutely. Again, what Carrie was saying, thank you so much for thinking of Global Genes. It's very easy to take your proceeds back to Global Genes in a couple of ways. If you have an event where people are coming to give either cash or check, you can do two things. You can either collect donations and write one check back to Global Genes, or you have them write the check directly to Global Genes. That method I actually prefer over there is because when it's come into our organization, then we write them a thank you as well as a tax donation letter. Or you can go on site to our website, and there's a direct link to a credit card donation. So you can just fill that out. And in the notes section, you can have your attendees just put in the notes section what event they're attending so we can make sure we can circle back with you and give you an update on what's coming in. So we make it two ways, either back or going online. And feel free to contact us if you'd like to go and do it that way, because then we can you know, keep in contact and let you know and give you updates.
Just note, this is Amanda. Donations we will receive through World Rare Disease Day will go to our Rare Patient Impact Grant program. So we launched that program in fall, and we'll be announcing the first inaugural year of awardees on January 31st of 2016, so right in time for World Rare Disease Day. So we hope to launch that again next in 2016. So we'll have another round of funding, and any donations that come in through the Dennis Dash and World Rare Disease Day during these couple months will go to the Rare Patient Impact Grant Program. So there was another question, Kim, about travel assistance and would all expenses be covered. Would you be able to go over that one more time, as the deadline's coming up here?
So, and it was pointed out, the deadline for the travel scholarships is in just about 2 weeks. So it is December 31st, 2015 for the events that are going to take place in February of 2016. So there was, I think there was a question about that as well. So I did want to clarify that the deadline is December 21st of this month, December 31st of this month. And in terms of the travel assistance, what I prefer to take that conversation offline and refer you directly to RDLA to answer that question. They have a dedicated website at rareadvocates.org/RW, and I'll put that also in our Q&A notes here for the rest of the group. And I think that's probably the best way to answer some of those questions. I know they have some limited funds available and are going to try to make as much available as they can.
The question that just came in, does Global Genes support Canadian nonprofits for they're holding a rare disease health expo for the public? Carrie, want to go over that?
Well, that is awesome. We are definitely starting to do a lot more outreach to our international partners, and depending on the kind of interaction you're looking at, we definitely would love to talk to you more about that. So please feel free to email me, Kim, or any of our advocacy teams so we can start that conversation. But we definitely love to support you and someone in that program that you're putting on. So we'd love to see Canada really embracing Rare Disease Day a lot more. So thank you.
To the questions, we're getting close to the end of time, so I will go ahead and put one last push for putting in your questions to the question and answer section at the bottom of your right-hand page. This will be recorded, and we'll be sending it out in the next week or so before the holidays. If your question comes up after the fact, feel free to reach out to any of the Global Genes staff. You can find our information right on our website at globalgenes.org. And we'll be happy to answer that. This is an important time for our community, and we want to make sure that we're all connected and all very impactful in our awareness activities. Question that happened that came in about adding logos to shirts that you can order for specific company-wide events for World Rare Disease Day. And I will turn that over to Amy to share a little bit about utilizing our logos and things like that.
Okay, thank you. Yes, unfortunately, we can't offer that service this year, but we will have a World Rare Disease Day T-shirt, and if I am not wrong, we are going to do some voting on there, so stay tuned to Facebook. So we're excited about that. But feel free to grab any of the graphics or images or logos from our site if you would like to make a T-shirt on your own for your company. We're happy, to offer that. Because we do want to, have everyone participate, get the word out, and so you can, if that's an option that's good for you, you can go ahead and do that for sure, absolutely.
Okay, so I think we are coming to the end. Again, we'll go ahead and answer any additional questions. There's a couple that came through right at the end that we'll answer privately, or we'll go ahead and post any final Q&As on the website with the recording of the webinar and the webinar slides. So thank you for your time. We really appreciate it, and good luck and have a happy holidays, and we'll talk to you in 2016, the new year.